Kelsey, what did you think shifted in the second half defensively to allow you all to get back in the game and not let the rope grow?
Man, I don't know. And it pisses me off because you would have thought that we didn't put in work to be at this point in our careers and at our season. It's unacceptable. A team like Chicago can't have 50-some points, and players like Courtney Williams don't fill us. There's just no excuse for it, man, to be honest. And I don't know where the switch came from, but myself and AB committed ourselves to the group that was in the game down the stretch of that 6 minutes, and we said we had to compete, and there was a small shift, but it was too late.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you think of the three-guard lineup down the stretch with you, Maya, Christie, and that whole just getting, I guess, a lot of reps together we haven't seen this season?
I think it was a big deal. I think Maya Caldwell played a really good game defensively and offensively. We're going to live and die with her taking that shot in that corner any given time, as well as Christie Wallace, high-level competitors. And so for us, this team is built on, finding the best players that's going to, give you what you need. And that just happened to be the lineup at the time. But shout out to Maya and Christie for really playing a really solid game today.
Is that all you felt like it was in the first half? Just like a lack of force defensively? You said they couldn't feel you?
Yeah, it's like we played soft as hell. It's like nobody felt us. It was just too easy, and everything for us was hard. And for us to even be in conversation for playoffs and for y'all to even come in here after our games, we got to compete. And we did. And there's no excuse for it.
Is that a mentality thing, do you think? What did you try to stress with Aaliyah during that stretch you just referred to?
Yeah, definitely a mentality. The idea of, this sounds cliche, but the idea of just not being so damn soft. We soft, and for some reason we expect it to be given, and we haven't earned that right. And so for us, it's about taking this game, letting it be a learning experience, and know that Minnesota's gonna come even harder. So I got a lot of work to do.
When you talk about being soft, like how do you change that?
It's a lot of stuff that can't be taught. It's a lot of stuff that can't be changed, but I think for us, communication piece can be a little bit better on the floor and knowing how to communicate, as well as being a leader to the point where we can put ourselves in a position to know what's needed. Down the stretch, Courtney Williams got a tough shot in that corner. Kalaya got one, and so we got to know personnel. We got to know a lot of those things, and I think it's no longer about changing and fixing. It's a mentality.
Obviously, it wasn't the result you wanted, but are there positives you take from today?
Yeah, I think for us, being able to try to get to that next play, NaLyssa Smith did a really great job of focusing on next play mentality, and it showed tonight. And so, without her, I don't think we even got to a point where we went back in the game. But like I said, man, it's definitely a mentality that can't be taught, and we got to be willing to be okay with sacrificing. All 12 of us.
Anybody else got anything for Kelsey? All right, Kelsey, you're good. Got questions for Liz now?
Appreciate you.
Liz, when it comes to making sort of like the dirty plays, the fluky plays, like the ones that aren't always nice looking, like why do you have a knack for doing those things when the ball gets deflected or something like that, getting a rebound, put back? Like why do you think you have such a knack for making those plays?
I think playing hard is just like something that could always give you like those trash baskets, those baskets where it's like you don't have a play for you, but you run in there and get an offensive board. It's more of like a motivational tactic. It just gets me going when I go up and get like a rebound or get a steal or run the floor hard. It just gets your like adrenaline pumping and makes you want to play harder.
And then Kelsey was saying, expressing her frustrations like we're too soft. We didn't have enough force in the first half. Mm-hmm. What are some things you think you all as a team can do to make sure you shore up that end or that part of, what it takes to win?
I think we know how to win. I think it's just like, I don't know, like Kelsey said, we just got to play hard 40 minutes. I think once we get up or get down, we kind of drop our heads. We just got to learn how to just keep playing and not get satisfied with going up 5 or going up 6. I think it's just playing hard for 40 minutes. And once we do that collectively, I think we'll win a lot more games.
Asked you a lot about your interior approach this year and 14 of your shots in the paint again today. What are you hunting for specifically in the paint this year? Is it your spots? Is it just whatever is available? Those kind of trash shots you just said. What are you kind of looking for?
Anything available. I feel like one-on-one is kind of like, in the humblest way, hard to guard me in the paint. But like, I think when I get outside, it's it's a harder game for me. But once I get in the paint, I feel like I can score a lot more effectively.
I feel like you guys have had a couple of games like this where you adjust to a slower start. Do you feel like there's something you guys can change in prep to start better, or is it just a mental thing? What do you feel like that is?
It's just a mental thing. Like I said, coming out ready to play is a huge thing for us. First it was we didn't know how to finish games. Now we're struggling starting games. So once we just put everything together, I think we'll be fine.
Go ahead, Tyler.
Just looking bigger picture, like what do you feel like you guys have improved from last season to this season? Obviously, you've already matched the win total, but what do you think has been better this season than last season?
I think next game mentality. I think this year is more of like we accepted the loss. Now we just got to go work on us and move on. I think last year we kind of dwelled a lot because, I mean, when you lose so many in a row, it's kind of like repetitive. But I think this year we have a lot more positive energy to like reflect on and people that are going to keep us up.
I guess what do you feel like you guys can do better in terms of being able to, obviously you came back but close out a game like this? What's the difference between the result and how you can kind of turn that into a win?
So you can't give up 54 points in the first half. That's A number one, period. I mean, the first part of the season, we couldn't get stops in the fourth quarter. And now we're not starting games and we're starting with ball pressure. You can't let people look and see passes to make. They're running their offense and there's no resistance. At the 6-minute mark in the third quarter, I called a timeout and they scored 4 points after that. Because we got up in them, and we pressured the basketball, and nothing was easy. You can't let people score 54 points, and then you play catch-up the whole time.
Christie, Kelsey used the word soft. She was like, that's what we were today. How do you shift that, or how do you all build from this? Because she was saying once it, like you said, they woke up or you kind of got alerted, it changed.
Yeah, I mean, we scored 87 points. You can't give up 89 points to a team that averages 74. But it's us. It is how we started this game. It was the lack of, we make people work. And that's what we did to start. We started training camp. We didn't even put in an offense until day 2 because all we did was defend. And that's how we're supposed to, that's our DNA. And we did not show that. We didn't show it against Phoenix, and we waited till the 6-minute mark in the third quarter to show it. And then you hold them, 35 in the whole second half? You just don't give yourself a chance. And it shouldn't come down to that. It shouldn't come down to a last-second shot.
And then what did you like about that 3-guard lineup in the second half, particularly towards the end, where playing defense, getting back in the game? NaLyssa had some big buckets, and obviously Maya's presence as well.
Yeah, I mean, Maya does a great job defensively. She's trying to find her rhythm offensively, but she's such a great defender. Christie Wallace, just tough. Kelsey is going to put the ball in the hole for you. And she's working on her, she is getting better defensively. She's really hurt right now because of how we've started the game. She blames herself. She can't do that. It's a team. It's 5 out there. And you got to figure out how to pick each other up. We were all in the first half. We all were letting them do whatever they wanted to do. They went into just a middle pick and roll, and we couldn't get anybody over to chug on the roll, and we're late because we're worried about our man way in the corner, who, that's a high percentage shot in the paint. You got to take that away first, and then recover to the outside shot.
NaLyssa's just talking about how earlier we were asking about closing games, and now it's about starting games. What do you feel like the block is to get it to be a 40-minute thing? Do you feel like it's a mental thing? What do you feel like it is?
I think it's youth. I think it's understanding, what you signed up for to play in this league. It's hard every night. If you don't defend, it doesn't matter who you play and what their record is. If you don't play defense, you don't give yourself a chance to win. And so that's where we are. We did some good things early, and now we've stopped doing those things, and now we're putting ourselves in a bind, and we're having to play catch up. Before, it wasn't that way. We couldn't get stops late. So we have to figure out how to put it together, put the right people on the floor who's going to do that for us for 40 minutes.